What's up, guys? This is Black Mamba coming at you guys with a new video. As you can see, something new. I'm playing World of Tanks. If you don't know what that is, it's an online game where you buy tanks and you fight them in battles like this one. It's free to play, so I'll leave a link in the description so that you can get the game, check it out, grab it if you want it. It's a really good game. I recommend it. Now, first thing I want to say is, if you guys hear like any muffling noise, I'm sorry. I got a new mic and it picks up on like any noise. It's amazing. It's a really good mic. It's just my fan going on, so I'm sorry for that ahead of time. Alright, so I wanted to talk about today what I want to talk about are some stories, childhood stories, and the shit I got into when I was in 8th grade. Alright, now, back when I was younger, I was really young back then. Well, I was in 8th grade, I was going to middle school, and I had a brother that was in the Marines. Now, my family, being that the people that they are huge gun fanatics. We love guns. That's our thing. We have so many guns around the house. So when my brother joined the Marines, they gave him even more of a reason to buy guns. So he had a sniper rifle. I think it was like the M24 or something like that. I don't know. It shoots a big bullet. It's close to like a 50 caliber bullet. So he shoots that, and then he had a 22 Winchester rifle and a 9mm pistol. So, during that time that I was in 8th grade, I had moved over to a new neighborhood, another part of town. So, in this new house, new area, there was a huge field right behind my neighborhood, where it was like a reservation, I guess, Indian reservation. And so, people would go down there, you know, go quadding, off-roading, and all this craziness, shenanigans. So, one day my brother comes back from work and he tells me, he's like, hey man, did you finish your homework? And I was like, yeah man, I'm done, I don't have to worry about anything. He's like, alright, cool. He's like, are you down to go shooting with me? And I was like, heck yeah, you know, I've never shot a gun, it's gonna be an awesome experience, it's gonna be kick-ass, especially with my brother. He's a Marine, it's gonna be kick-ass, I'll be blasting all these crazy ass guns. So I'm like, alright, let's do this. But before that, I had to talk to my mom, because my mom is like a super safety person. She doesn't like the thought of guns because she's afraid one of us, her children, I guess you could say, will grab a gun and hurt themselves. So I spent a lot of time convincing my mom, saying, hey yo, can I go shoot a rifle with my brother? And she's like, I don't know, I don't want you to get hurt, blah blah blah, I don't want you to get in trouble either. And I was like, Mom, you don't have to worry about that. My brother's a Marine. He knows how to work guns. Nothing bad will happen. We'll be fine. Especially with my brother, because he's, you know, like I said, he's a Marine. So, she lets me go. And so I told my brother, I was like, yo, where are we gonna go to go shooting? Because only firing ranges, I guess you could say, are far away, like super far away. Like literally, I lived in a town that's secluded and there's nothing here. We have a mall, and that mall has maybe like 4 stores open. Yeah, so my town doesn't have crap. So he was like, dude, there's a place out back by your house, I don't know if you've been there. And I was like, yeah, I've been there. At the time I had no clue that this was a reservation. So we're like, yeah bro, let's go. We drive down there, we grab the guns, and we're like, alright, let's head off. So we go down there. My brother gives me a quick on how-to, I guess you could say, on how to shoot a gun, safety precautions, all the craziness, you know, don't point at anyone, all basic stuff. And so I get that down, and then he was like, alright, another thing, keep your finger off the trigger and everything. Now, I was a kid at this time. I was scared. I didn't want to get in trouble because I remember my parents always telling me, you know, don't ever do anything, you know, bad, illegal, because it will stay on your permanent record, and if you ever want to go do something, it'll ruin your record. You won't be able to because that's on your record. I'm like, alright, yeah. You know, so I've always been a good kid, you know, good grades, well behaved, you know, all my teachers always had something good to say to me, nothing bad. So I was like, alright, cool. So I'm down there and I'm telling my brother, I was like, yo man, are you sure we're allowed to shoot down here? Because I don't want to get in trouble and get this on my record. He's like, yeah man, no problem. You know, if something does happen, they'll come over here and be like, yo, you guys just can't be shooting here, just please pack up your stuff and go. And I was like, at the time I was a kid and I trusted my brother a lot, and I was like, alright, cool. So we're shooting out there, we're like, blah 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 blah, we're shooting. And this is probably one of the funny parts that happened out there. We're shooting and we see this bird, this crow, land on the side of the hill that's there. And my brother's like, dude, let's shoot at it. And I'm like, alright. So he didn't want to shoot it with a sniper rifle because of course he can grab it with a sniper rifle. It has a scope. So he grabbed the Winchester and he starts shooting at it. And like literally the shots were going between the crow's toes. Like you could see the dirt pop off. I'm surprised that the bird didn't get hit in the toe because it was so close. And he's like, oh yeah man, he's like I'll get it. I think the sights are messed up. So he starts adjusting the sights and the bullets are flying past this bird like crazy. And this thing doesn't move, it's just sitting there. I'm like, what the hell is up with this bird? Because it's just literally just standing there and we're like, okay, that's weird. So it eventually flies away and we're like, okay, well we lost that kill. So we keep shooting at random stuff, you know, oranges, watermelons, all this crazy stuff that we had out there. And so I'm like, alright, that's cool. And then we see hawks. Now, before you guys think anything, I didn't want to shoot those hawks. I didn't shoot them. My brother did. So he picks up the sniper rifle and the hawk's flying in midair, going over us. And he picks it up, aims up, looks in the scope, boom, shoots that one right through the chest. It goes out, goes in one side of the chest and comes out the other side, and it crashes. And it lands as dead. We go over to it. This thing is freaking huge. It was like, its wingspan was probably a good like 3 feet long. It was ginormous, and the talons on this thing looked like it could rip your face off completely. So we were all like, oh man, this is badass, this kick ass. And we left that hawk there because we saw another one flying overhead. And at this point of time, we could hear some like, I don't know, I say it, some like whooshing noises, and we were like, oh, it's nothing.
Let's get the show on the road.
Where that reservation was located, it was a neighborhood right here. There's houses, and then behind those houses was the reservation where it had, let's see, it had a bunch of houses. Oh shit. Alright, so the way everything was set up was there was houses, and literally like right behind the houses were, that's cool, where was the reservation. It was like a forest place, and there was tunnels, and we used to, as kids, we used to go down there and, you know, mess around in the tunnels, but that's a different story. So I guess you could hear the gunshots from the neighborhood, and we're shooting, having fun, and then the whooshing noise seems to be getting closer, and we're like, alright, whatever, it's not a big deal, let's just keep shooting, let's have fun. So as I'm shooting, we stop for a second because we get foxtails. A lot of foxtails get in our socks because it's fields out there, there's trees, there's like dirt, there's sand, there's everything out there, there's rocks. So we're pulling them out, and then all of a sudden we hear this huge whooshing noises, and we're just like, what? And I look up and I see a freaking helicopter circling us, and I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, I'm about to get in some major trouble. And I'm getting scared. I'm panicking at this time. I told my brother, I was like, hey yo, his name was Kyle. I'm like, Kyle, man, what are we gonna do? There's a helicopter right here. And he's like, oh man, don't worry, come on, I think we should get back to the cars. Let's stop shooting, let's not get in trouble. And I was like, alright, yeah. I was like, but I thought you said it was cool if we shot here. And he's like, yeah, it is, but I mean, you know, maybe they want us off their property, that's why they have a helicopter. And I was like, okay. So we're walking back on the trail back to our cars, and the car was like a mile away. And we just keep hearing this whoosh, 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 and the helicopter's just circling overhead, just following. And my brother's like, let me hold the guns, and then you carry the box of ammo. I'm like, alright, fine. We're walking down the trail, and out of the corner of my eyes, I see something move, and then I hear like some screaming or some noises, and I'm like, what? And I turn, and my brother's hands are in the air, and at this point, I'm like, shit, I'm gonna go to jail. This is going in my record. My mom's gonna flip. I'm gonna die. And I look over there, and it's the SWAT team. The sheriff's SWAT team has their assault rifles pointed directly at us, and there's like probably like 15 dudes right there, and I'm literally about to shit my pants at that point. I'm dying. I'm scared. I start panicking, and I'm just like, oh my god. My brother's like, calm down. He's like, don't worry, put your hands up in the air because they're gonna shoot us. And I'm like, okay. So I drop the box of ammo, and I put up my hands. They start screaming, oh, you know, walk backwards to us, put your hands in there. We walk back, and next thing you know, I'm on the ground, and one of the officer's knees are on my head to keep me from moving. At that point, I'm bawling, I'm crying, I'm so scared, and I literally, I'm dying. I'm just like, you know, please Lord, don't let me get in trouble, don't let my mom find out, I'm gonna go to, don't let me get into trouble, don't let me go to jail or anything. I'm crying. I literally wanted to piss myself, but I had no piss. So we're there, and freaking the cops start talking to my brother, and they lift us up and they handcuff us. So we're sitting down, and they're like, you know what, we need to take you guys back up to your cars or whatever. So we're at the car, and we're just chilling there.
Our ammunition rack is hit.
Oh dang it. We're chilling there, they take us up, and right when we get up there, there's a guy there with a shotgun waiting up on top of the hill, and there are more guys there. Like, there's literally like 20 cars there, plus the SWAT vehicle car, and it was just crazy. I was crying, I was scared, you know, I didn't know what was gonna go on. So they take us up there, and they put